From the Detroit Free Press, it's Tuesday, March 31st. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. 52 more people have died of the novel coronavirus in Michigan, bringing the state total to 184 deaths as of Monday. In addition, the state confirmed more than 1,000 new cases of COVID-19, the respiratory illness caused by the virus. That means nearly 6,500 total cases reported thus far. Southeast Michigan continues to see a high number of deaths reported, with 52 total reported in Detroit alone. In Wayne County, not including the city of Detroit, 31 deaths have been reported. Oakland County has seen 48 deaths, and Macomb County has seen 27. Those who have died ranged in age from 25 years old to 97 years old, with the average age about 68. Men account for 68% of the deaths. Amid the growing numbers, officials continue to announce efforts to quell the spread and aid those impacted by the changing circumstances of life in the state and country. Members of the Michigan National Guard will start assisting at local food banks this week. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer also ordered a hiring freeze in state government. For more, visit freep.com.
This is Julie Hines of the Detroit Free Press. The latest event to be postponed in Detroit because of the coronavirus is Motor City Comic-Con, the biggest and longest-running gathering of comic book, movie, TV, and pop culture fans in Michigan. Last year's weekend drew more than 70,000 people to the Novi site. This year's event was scheduled to run from May 15 to May 17. Motor City Comic-Con says it has to reschedule the event in order to ensure a safe and healthy environment for guests and exhibitors. Celebrities scheduled to attend included Kiefer Sutherland, Freddie Prinze Jr., and Creed Bratton of the sitcom classic The Office.
This is Christina Hall with the Detroit Free Press. A county prosecutor in suburban Detroit resigned from office less than a week after he was accused of embezzlement and misconduct in office. Eric Smith, prosecutor of Macomb County for 15 years, is facing 10 criminal counts over how his office spent about $600,000 in drug and alcohol forfeiture funds since 2012. The Michigan Attorney General's office filed the charges after a nearly year-long probe of how his office spent the money. Smith says he intends to defend himself against the allegations. 3 others also have been charged in the investigation, including 2 men who served as Smith's current and former chief of operations. Investigators found that Smith and other defendants used the money to buy flowers and makeup for select secretaries, a security system for Smith's residence, garden benches for staffers' homes, country club catering for parties, campaign expenditures, and more.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Meredith Spellbring. As Metro Detroit hospitals fill to the brim with coronavirus patients, Henry Ford Health Systems is thinking outside the box to provide infant care by staying inside the bus. The hospital's mobile medical unit that is normally used to provide care to children and young adults will open its doors for newborn follow-up appointments. The 39-foot bus will be stationed outside the hospital's corporate center at 1 Ford Place, Detroit, from 9 a.m. to noon 7 days a week. Henry Ford Health System staff is currently scheduling the appointments for families after they are discharged from the hospital. Only 1 parent and infant are allowed in the unit at a time to allow for a safe and clean environment. Currently, it is only open for babies discharged from Henry Ford Health, but can be increased to accommodate more patients if the need expands. For more information on the mobile medical unit for infants, head to freep.com.
This is Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department and a look at the NBA draft. We may not know exactly when it will be, but we're starting to get somewhat of a look at who will be involved. Last week, we learned that Michigan State junior forward Xavier Tillman has entered his name into the NBA draft, but will not hire an agent, and he could still return to school. The same can be said now for Michigan's Isaiah Livers. The junior forward announced Monday that he too will put his name in the ring for this year's draft. Livers, though, has not hired an agent, and so he, too, could return to school for his senior year. The deadline for making that decision is still in flux for, well, obvious reasons. Livers was the proverbial straw that stirred the drink for the Wolverines this past season, averaging almost 13 points and exactly 4 rebounds per game, and while shooting 40% from the three-point line.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer. See you tomorrow.